In the fall of 1973, Enfield, Illinois was the kind of town most people forgot existed. With a population barely scraping past a few hundred, it sat quietly among cornfields and gravel roads, the kind of place where everyone knew everyone else's business and where nothing strange ever happened. Until it did. On the night of April 25, 1973, Henry McDaniel was at home with his family when something outside changed Enfield forever. It was close to 10 p.m. The house was quiet except for the hum of the television and the distant sound of crickets. McDaniel's children were already in bed. His wife was folding laundry. That was when Henry heard a noise coming from the back of the house. At first, it sounded like scratching. He assumed it was a dog or maybe a raccoon, common enough in the area, but the sound didn't move like an animal usually did. It dragged. It paused. Then it scratched again, slow and deliberate, against the screen door. McDaniel grabbed his flashlight and stepped outside. That was when he saw it. Standing in the yard just a few feet away was a creature unlike anything he had ever seen. It was small, about 4 feet tall, but built strangely. According to McDaniel, it had 3 legs, arranged in a way that made no sense. Its body was short and bulky, almost barrel-shaped. 2 tiny arms hung stiffly at its sides. But what froze him in place were its eyes. They were pink, McDaniel later told reporters. Big as flashlights. The creature didn't move at first. It just stared at him. McDaniel raised his gun. The moment he did, the creature let out a strange, high-pitched hiss and bounded away, not running, but hopping, as if its 3 legs worked together like a spring. In seconds, it disappeared into the darkness beyond the yard. Shaken and confused, McDaniel rushed back inside and locked the doors. He didn't sleep that night. The next morning, he inspected the back of his house. The screen door had deep scratches, not shallow claw marks, but long gouges, as if something strong had dragged its fingers across the metal. In the dirt nearby were footprints, similar to a dog's, but wrong. Each print had 6 toes. McDaniel contacted the police. At first, local authorities didn't take the report seriously. Strange animals wandered into rural yards all the time. But when officers arrived and saw the damage and the tracks, their attitude changed. They photographed the footprints. They measured the scratches. And quietly, they admitted they had no idea what could have made them. Word spread fast. By the end of the week, Enfield was swarming with reporters, curiosity seekers, and amateur monster hunters. The Mount Vernon Register-News published McDaniel's account, including his now famous quote. It had 3 legs on it, a short body, 2 little short arms, and 2 pink eyes as big as flashlights. More sightings followed. A nearby farmer reported seeing something crouched at the edge of his field late at night. A teenage boy claimed he heard a shrill scream coming from the woods that made his ears ring. Several residents found unexplained scratches on barns, fences, and sheds, yet no one managed to capture a photograph. The police organized searches through the surrounding fields and wooded areas, but they found nothing. No nests, no bodies, no clear tracks that led anywhere. Whatever it was, it seemed to appear and vanish at will. When reporters asked McDaniel what he thought the creature was, he didn't hesitate. If they do find it, he said, they will find more than one. And they won't be from this planet, I can tell you that. That statement changed everything. Some dismissed him as frightened or exaggerating. Others believed he had seen an escaped animal or a deformed kangaroo, an explanation that quickly fell apart when no missing animals were reported within hundreds of miles. But then, something else happened. About 2 weeks after the initial sighting, a local woman claimed her dog refused to go outside after dark. It would whine, pace near the door, and scratch to be let back inside almost immediately. Another resident reported their livestock becoming agitated at night, as if sensing something nearby. Then the sightings stopped. Just like that, the Enfield monster vanished. No remains were ever found. No further tracks appeared. The scratches weathered away with time. Reporters eventually moved on, and Enfield returned to being just another quiet town in Illinois. But the story didn't die. Years later, investigators and cryptozoologists revisited the case. Some suggested it might have been a hoax. Others argued it could have been a previously unknown animal with a rare mutation. A few leaned into McDaniel's belief that it wasn't from Earth at all. What keeps the mystery alive is the consistency. McDaniel never changed his story. The police reports match his description. The footprints were real, the scratches were real, and multiple witnesses, independent of each other, described similar sounds and shapes. Even decades later, locals tell stories about strange noises in the fields outside town, about flashes of light in the distance, about animals refusing to go out at night. And some older residents claim that if you stand near the McDaniel property after midnight, when the air is still and the insects go quiet, you might hear something moving in the dark, not walking, not running, but hopping. To this day, no official explanation has ever been found. And Enfield, Illinois remains one of the few places where a monster appeared, left physical evidence behind, and then simply vanished.